Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Midday News on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Anieti Patrick. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes channel 276. Protesters returned to the National Assembly today demanding that real-time electronic transmission of election results be made mandatory in the Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2026. Demonstrators, including civil society groups like Situation Room and Action Aid, insisted that manual collation be completely eliminated to prevent manipulation during the collation of results. The protest comes after a 5-day break from the National Assembly following assurances from the last Tuesday's sitting. Security operatives reportedly barricaded the entrances to the complex, forcing the crowd to hold their demonstration outside the gates. Meanwhile, the National Assembly has announced that it would reconvene its plenary session on Tuesday, February 17, 2026, cutting short its recess amid indications that lawmakers may review the date set for the 2027 presidential election. In a notice signed by the clerk to the National Assembly, Kamoru Ogunlano, senators and members of the House of Representatives were directed to resume sitting at 11 a.m. and adjust their schedules accordingly, as very crucial decisions are expected to be taken during the session. However, reports from the National Assembly says it may shift the presidential poll to February 13, 2027. Troops of the 32 Artillery Brigade of the Nigerian Army have neutralized 2 terrorists during a tactical operation conducted along Akunu-Auga Road in Akoko North-East, local government area of Ondo State. Major Rabo Njoka, Assistant Director, Army Public Relations, 32 Artillery Brigade, made this known in a statement in Akure. Njoka said the operation was carried out by troops deployed at the Forward Operating Base, FOB Auga. He explained that the troops, acting on credible intelligence on the movements of the criminals within the area, swiftly mobilized and intercepted the suspects. The federal government has directed all ministries, departments, and agencies to enforce the 8-year tenure limit for directors and permanent secretaries, following a new deadline set through the Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation. Speaking at a lecture at the State House, Abuja, to mark the 2023 Civil Service Week, Yemi Asant stated that the revised PSR took effect from July 27, 2023. The head of service issued a circular address to permanent secretaries, the Accountant General of the Federation, the Auditor General for the Federation, and the heads of extra-ministerial departments, informing them of the revised rules. The Federal Capital Territory Administration has signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Suburban Broadband Limited and Ida Hills Limited for development of the digital and commercial infrastructure in Abuja. FCT Minister Nyesom Wike says the partnership is aimed at driving economic expansion, job creation, and transforming the capital into a globally competitive city. Kabir Hassan completes the story.
The agreement signed in Abuja is expected to strengthen broadband connectivity and redevelop key commercial hubs within the Federal Capital Territory. The partnership with Suburban Broadband Limited focuses on expanding digital infrastructure to enhance innovation and economic activities, while Akida Hills Limited is set to drive a major redevelopment project around the Jabi Lake axis. Speaking at the signing ceremony, the Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, described the initiative as a part of the broader effort to reposition Abuja as a modern and globally connected capital city.
The essence of this is to let the public know that it is no longer going to be business as usual. This is a strategic land situated at Jabi, where we have the Jabi Lake. Abuja ought to grow fast. So today we have signed this agreement. We believe that you will apply and do what is with the Memorandum of Understanding.
Suburban Broadband Limited says the project will generate employment and contribute significantly to Abuja's digital transformation. The company also commended the minister's leadership style and commitment to infrastructure renewal.
The project will bring significant foreign investment into Nigeria, create meaningful jobs, opportunities for Nigerian people, and contribute to the continuous growth and development of Abuja as modern, globally connected capital cities. We are committed to building infrastructure that will support innovation, connectivity, and economic expansion within FCT.
On its part, Akida Hill Limited says the redevelopment of the Jabi Lake area will reposition Abuja as a prime tourism and commercial destination. The company expressed confidence in meeting project timelines.
This idea of redeveloping the Jabi Lake Mall for us has been something that's been a burning desire for Akida is for the last 3 years. And we are so excited that this is coming to fruition.
The FCT administration says the collaboration reflects its commitment to sustainable infrastructure development, digital expansion, and private sector partnership in advancing the renewed hope agenda. However, the administration officials say implementation will commence immediately with monitoring mechanism in place to ensure timely delivery. Kabir Hassan, reporting for Global TV News.
Still staying with infrastructure, the federal government has raised fresh concerns over the growing vandalization of Nigeria's road and bridge infrastructure, warning that the trend poses serious danger to public safety and national development. Minister of Works, Senator David Umahi, sounded the alarm during a press briefing in Abuja. Kabir again reports.
The removal of critical structural components from major bridges as a direct attack on national assets. According to him, vandals have been targeting expansion joints, steel reinforcement, and other essential bridges components, including parts of the Niger Bridge and the Covenant Bridge. Umahi revealed that security agencies recently apprehended individuals allegedly involved in removing vital components from the Covenant Bridge. He warned that such actions, combined with overloading by heavy trucks, are placing a numerous strain on infrastructure originally designed to last about 30 years.
One is to draw the attention of the public to massive vandalization of critical infrastructure. The illegalities have a lot of consequences for our infrastructure. Just about 2 weeks back, we caught people, and that's the second time we are catching people removing the cut eyes, electrical devices on top of the bridge.
The minister explained that many bridges across the country were not designed to withstand the level of stress they are currently subjected to. He stressed that excessive loading and deliberate vandalism are weakening their structural integrity.
We do not desire that heavy trucks and vehicles will be parking on our roads and bridges. Roads and bridges are never designed for static loads. We are asking for trouble by allowing vehicles and big trucks and small trucks to be parking on our bridges. We have a very big issue on Terminal Bridge and big issue on Kata Bridge, to the extent that Kata Bridge has to be demolished.
Umahi also lamented the illegal occupation of federal roads right-of-way corridors, describing it as another major challenge obstructing infrastructure development. He disclosed that the ministry has begun deploying proactive technologies on bridges to curb vandalism and assist security agencies in trafficking offenders. The minister called on Nigerians to see public infrastructure as a collective asset that must be protected, as he reaffirmed the federal government commitment to maintaining and rehabilitating critical road networks, warning that continued destruction will lead to higher repair costs, transportation disruption, and potential loss of lives. The
Benue State Police Command has confirmed the safe release of worshippers abducted during a vigil in Ado local government area. 4 suspected kidnappers have been arrested with arms and ammunition recovered. The Commissioner of Police, Ifeanyi Emenari, made this known while briefing journalists in Makurdi. Felicity Ndere tells us more.
The Commissioner of Police in Benue State, Ifeanyi Emenari, while briefing journalists at the government house in Makurdi, stated that operatives of the Ado Division arrested 2 suspects in connection with the incident, seizing 5 rounds of 7.62mm ammunition and subsequently handed them over to the Inspector General of Police Intelligence Response Team for further investigation. The Commissioner of Police said a February 14th raid recovered an AK-47 and 8 rounds of ammunition, arrested 2 more suspects, and led to the unharmed release of the victims.
The directive of the Inspector General of Police is that the bandits, the kidnappers, and the cultists operating in Benue State must be rooted out by all means. And that is the stand of the Executive Governor too. We must rout completely banditry in Benue State. Benue State can never ever be a soft ground for banditry again.
Meanwhile, Governor Hyacinth Alia reassures of his administration's continued partnership to strengthen security and ensure that communities live without fear.
His Excellency is committed to the security of this state in its totality, in its entirety, and is working tirelessly to ensure that Benue communities live without fear.
According to reports, the Inspector General of Police has deployed the Police Air Wing and additional tactical teams to strengthen security in Benue State. In Makudi, Felicity Ndere reporting for Global Television News.
The Imo State government has reaffirmed its commitment to supporting transport operators following a solidarity march organized by transport unions in Owerri. Our correspondent Amarachi Ibe reports.
Representing Governor Hope Uzodimma at the event, Chief of Staff Nnamdi Anyehi commended transport unions for maintaining peace and discipline within the sector, noting that improved unity among operating members that their requests, particularly those concerning empowerment and operational support, would receive due consideration, stressing government's readiness to continue engaging stakeholders to strengthen the transport sector.
Our governor is a listening governor. No matter what you come to him with, he will look at it and give you answer for what you have asked for. And I believe that what you have asked for is not much in this. Just for a revolving loan, okay? To help you people. I would like to use this opportunity to thank you to continue to maintain law and order and do things the rightful way. The government is proud of as much as possible to meet you.
In his address, Jeff Eze, chairman of the National Union of Road Transport Workers, expressed appreciation for ongoing infrastructure improvements across the state, noting that improved road networks have eased transportation challenges and reduced vehicle maintenance costs for operators. He appealed for empowerment programs, including revolving loans or grants to support transport workers, and also request land allocation for permanent union secretariats to ease operational burdens.
And we ask for government intervention in form of revolving loan or grant that will empower our members and increase the transport value chain of our state. An arrangement that will be under the supervision of the Ministry of Transport.
The march signals stronger government union collaboration, promising smoother roads and better services for commuters and transport operators alike. From Owerri, Amarachi Ibe reporting for Global TV News.
You're watching the live broadcast of Meet the News. Meet the News continues after this weather forecast, plus business, foreign and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us.
Thank you for joining us. As you can see on the satellite imagery, a significant dust plume is active along parts of Algeria, Libya, and Egypt corridor. Currently, this dust is being masked by high-level cloud cover over parts of Chad and Niger. As those clouds begin to clear by Monday, the dust is expected to become more visible and gradually drifting towards northern parts of Nigeria, leading to reduced horizontal visibility in slight dust haze. Motorists should drive cautiously, especially during the early morning hours. Individuals with respiratory sensitivities are also advised to limit outdoor exposure. Across the central cities, we're expecting mostly sunny skies with few clouds here and there. Meanwhile, isolated thunderstorms are likely along the coastal belt of the country, including the adjoining inland areas, parts of Edo, Ondo, Ogun, some parts of Anambra, Enugu, Imo, and Ebonyi states. For airline operators, please ensure to obtain NIMET e-flight folder before operations for the latest weather updates. And that's your forecast. Stay weather aware and have a safe day ahead.
It's good to have you back on Midday News. In business, the Presidential Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms Committee has dismissed claims that the Nigeria Tax Act 2025 introduces a 25% tax on building materials, construction funds, and related bank transactions. The clarification was issued in a statement released by the committee's chairman, Taiwo Oyedele, in a response to a viral video by former Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi. According to the committee, the act has already commenced and contains no provision imposing a 25% levy on construction materials, bank balances, or business expenses linked to property development. The National Bureau of Statistics says Nigeria's capital importation surged to $601 billion in the third quarter of 2025, representing a 380.16% increase compared to $1.25 billion recorded in the corresponding period of 2024. The NBS disclosed this in its latest Nigeria capital importation for the third quarter of 2025, published on its website. The report showed that capital inflows also rose on a quarter-on-quarter basis, climbing by 17.46% from $5.12 billion recorded in the second quarter of 2025 to $601 billion in the third quarter. The Nigerian Labour Congress has called for an immediate and comprehensive review of the entire power sector. President of the union, Joe Ajaero, made the call during the National Union of Electricity Employees Annual Conference of Women and Youth in Abuja at the weekend. Ajaero lamented that over a decade after the much celebrated privatization of the power sector, electricity generation remained economically stagnant at between 4,000 and 5,000 megawatts, the same level as the pre-privatization era. And on the foreign scene, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has renewed calls for an immediate ceasefire in Sudan's civil war, while also urging restraint amid rising tensions between Ethiopia and Eritrea. He made the call on the sidelines of the African Union Summit in Addis Ababa. Mutaru Kasim tells us more.
The UN chief says the global body is intensifying diplomatic efforts to end nearly 3 years of devastating conflict in Sudan. Fighting between the Sudanese army and the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces since April 2023 has killed tens of thousands and displaced more than 11 million people, triggering what the United Nations describes as the world's worst humanitarian crisis.
We have seen a carnage in Sudan that is totally intolerable in the 21st century. We have been very actively engaged towards the African Union, together with the African Union, with the Arab League, with the Quad, and with other key actors, in order to put effective pressure for an immediate ceasefire.
Speaking on the sidelines of the African Union Summit in Addis Ababa, Guterres said efforts are underway with regional blocs and key international actors to secure a truce, while also stressing the need to address foreign involvement in fueling the war. He also turned his attention to rising tensions in the Horn of Africa following renewed fighting in northern Ethiopia and concerns of a possible fallout with neighboring country Eritrea.
So my strongly hope is that the two countries will be able to reconcile and will be able to, with that, contribute to the peace and stability in the continent.
Ethiopia and Eritrea share a long and turbulent history, including a deadly border war and more than recent strains following the Tigray conflict. As conflicts persist across parts of Africa, the United Nations says it will continue diplomatic engagement aimed at securing ceasefires and preventing further regional instability. Mukhtar Qasim, reporting for Global Television News.
Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has arrived in Geneva for high-stakes second round of nuclear talks with the United States aimed at reducing tension and avert a new military confrontation that Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has warned could turn into a regional conflict. Araghchi said he will be joined by Iranian nuclear experts for a deep technical discussion with Rafael Grossi, the head of the International Atomic Energy Agency. Iran and the U.S. renewed negotiations earlier this month to tackle their decades-long dispute over Tehran's nuclear program as U.S. deploys warships, including a second aircraft carrier, to the region as mediators work to prevent a war. In the meantime, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has outlined the conditions he considers necessary for any prospective deal between the United States and Iran, including the dismantling of all of Tehran's nuclear infrastructure. Speaking at the annual conference of presidents of major American Jewish organizations, Netanyahu said he is skeptical of a deal, but had told U.S. President Donald Trump last week that any agreement must include several elements. His comments came as Iranian Minister of Foreign Affairs Abbas Araghchi headed to Switzerland for a second round of the nuclear talks with the U.S. And in sports, Super Eagles of Nigeria will take on Jordan in an international friendly in Amman in March. Jordan will use the friendly as part of their preparations for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Nigeria's availability for the game will, however, depend on FIFA's impending ruling on the country's eligibility protest against Democratic Republic of Congo. Meanwhile, Iran is considering Nigeria as one of their potential opponents for an international friendly in March as preparations gather pace for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Iran's football authorities are finalizing arrangements for pre-tournament fixtures and have identified the Super Eagles as possible opposition. According to the Tehran Times, Iran's governing body is close to confirming its schedule, noted that the Football Federation of Iran is expected to officially announce Team Melli's friendly March schedule as preparations intensify for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Nigeria liquefied natural gas has emerged the overall champion of the 20th edition of the Nigeria Oil and Gas Industry Games, finishing top of the medal standings with an impressive total of 52 medals. Nigeria liquefied natural gas haul comprised 20 gold, 16 silver, and 16 bronze medals, securing a narrow but decisive victory over defending champions Nigeria National Petroleum Company, who placed second with 49 medals, 14 gold, 15 silver, and 20 bronze. The Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board claimed third position with 18 medals, including 5 gold and 8 silver. Total Energies finished fourth after collecting 15 medals, made up of 5 gold and 10 bronze. And that's it on Meet the News. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using @Global TV NG. I am Anieti Patrick. Thank you for watching.